Hi guys, Candice Bobchak here. Welcome back to my channel. And for those of you who don't know me, I am an artist, an in-house graphic designer, and a professional photographer who has been working for the past several years now. And my goal on this channel is to share the tips and tricks that I've learned over the years, as well as document my creative process for all of you. And today's video, I am going to be painting. So let's jump right in. The first thing I had to do was venture to a nearby park to spray paint. Since I live in an apartment, I don't really have a place to do this at home. I wanted to paint on a plank of wood because it has a nice, smooth surface. And I used spray paint for a white clean base. After the paint dried, I walked back to my apartment to begin painting. My goal was to paint a large, hyper-realistic eye, so I laid down my base and started layering the colors. This took weeks to do so of course I sped up the video, so it didn't last an entire 24 hours. Painting is something that is meditative to me, and even though I already had an idea in mind, painting gave me time to deeply focus and reflect on it. And I also like to keep a journal of my thoughts while I'm painting. So I'm going to read a bit of that to you now. Of course, at first I started contemplating the significance of eyes. How we are beings who are wired to have the ability to recognize emotion through eyes. And it kind of dominates our emotional communication. With no words, in a way, it helps us communicate what we think or feel. And then my mind started drifting towards Christianity. I grew up Catholic. In Christianity, there is the all-seeing eye, which, in short, represents God's omniscience, the belief and symbol that God sees everything, which led me to think about other religions and the significance of eyes. I remember during art history we talked about Buddha. It is believed that Buddha can see all three times, past, present, and future, 10 dimensions, which include the 4 cardinal directions, in between them, and above and below as well. Traditionally, the eye of Buddha is blue in color, which is one of the many reasons why I chose blue. Buddhist people believe he is the completely awakened one, liberated. And ironically, the idea for this painting came to me during a time when I was feeling very restrained in life, not liberated or free at all. And in some way it is like I had been awakened to see the metaphoric and invisible chains that had been around me for a while. The painting really started to come to life when I began blending in the first white line. Once I was done, it started reminding me of an aerial view of an island with an ocean around it. And then after thinking of Buddha, it had me thinking of Hinduism. And the third eye. The third eye represents when one's energies reach a certain peak within oneself, gaining new clarity of vision of your life. And again, strangely enough, I feel like I was finally seeing my life for what it really was. seeing past the normal limitations of my perception, which in return did alter my experience from what it was before. But I like to believe now that the change was a nice change, a welcome change. And by this point, the painting really started to come alive. I started painting the shadows before adding in more highlights. And finally, during this mental spiral of self-reflection, I started thinking about the evil eye. It is an ancient Eastern Mediterranean amulet that is meant to protect someone from malice, greed, or envy, or any other unwanted or negative feeling towards that individual. And the interesting thing about the evil eye is that it is popular among many spiritual paths. A little protection is something I feel I needed. In light of my new perspective, I realized not everyone I crossed wanted what was best for me. And again, the evil eye amulets tend to be blue in color. It is thought to repel evil intentions. So this also reinforced my choice in using blue paint. Painting the lines of the eyes went on for days. I wanted a finer line, so I purchased an even smaller brush. It was finally coming together. The final thing was topping it with a thick layer of Mod Podge. I wanted an extremely glossy finish.
Okay, for you it's been moments, but for me it's been months. Honestly, when the Mod Podge started drying on the surface, I wasn't liking the way it was drying. So I had to go back to the art store and find something that would give it more of a shiny, glossy finish. And so that's what I did. And it took some time, but I thank you guys for joining me on this mental spiral and watching my art process when creating this eye painting, because it really means a lot to me and it makes me happy to be able to share a part of myself with you guys. So I hope you liked it, and I guess goodbye. Till next time.